Hi, friends. Just joining us. Okay, hitting record. Oh boy, oh boy. Okay. Howdy, friends. Welcome to 7 Minute Demos. This is one of my all-time favorite monthly gatherings that we get to do because I love all of our suppliers, all of our tech vendors, all the cool stuff that keeps coming to life in this world, and the people that exist in our community. And I love to see everything that you guys are all doing and share it with the rest of the community. So, as you know, we do our 7 Minute Demos here live where you get 7 minutes to give us your demo, your pitch. We get 3 minutes to ask you questions. And then at the end, after we do all four of them, we can ask more questions. This does live inside our Club Ichi circle, so people go back and watch it if they couldn't join it live. And that's what this thing is all about. So let's see, who are my four contestants today? I think I have Deana has not joined, but Faith is here, Martin's here, Andy's here. So let's get this party started. Faith, can I call on you first? You got to come off mute, and then I will.
Absolutely.
Woo-hoo!
Okay.
Oh,
Woo. Okay.
come
Let me
on in.
share.
I've set the timer, and you are good to go. You should have approval to share and everything too.
Okay, great. All right. Let me just move this off the screen. Okay. And share. Excellent. Okay. So I just want to go to my home page. And this is super easy. And we're getting publicity in these different magazines, which is really super
Who
cool.
are you now? You are not Gotcha Finder anymore. You are Event Nation. Tell us who you
That's
are.
right.
This.
Okay, that's right. It's not called Gotcha Finder anymore. Now it's Event Nation. Um, you'll see why in a minute. There's a sort of a network part of the thing. So I just click Get My Free Contract Review. I grab any hotel contract, and then it strips out all the private data. So one of the big reasons that people don't use LLMs is that they don't want their private data going to the LLM for analysis. This takes care of that problem. Then we're going to analyze your contract. So we're reviewing not only for what is in the contract, but also exceptionally for what is not in there. So it's a combination of computer, AI, and human intelligence. The human intelligence says what's not in the contract. That is very unusual. There's no other analysis I know of that will tell you that. You'll see it gets stuck. It's supposedly stuck at 40%, but then after it's done with whatever it does at 40%, it goes pretty quickly. So we'll just wait for this to be done. You can go get a cup of coffee.
It doesn't actually take that long. And I will say that I did try it and use it on our upcoming Happy Camp contract to see, and I compared it against, just using generic AI, and it is so good. It brought up a lot of things that I needed to ask questions about. It's phenomenal.
Awesome. Okay. That is really great to hear, Liz. Thank you. Also, you'll see there's a budget analysis. So it'll tell you how much approximately you can save once it comes up. And how we do that, people always ask, well, why is it a range and why isn't it more? Like there's 40 issues, why isn't it more than $15,000? Well, we capped the issues that made sense. So you're not going to negotiate every issue. So the budget calculator is more realistic in terms of like you're probably only going to negotiate 3 or 4 issues, and that's what you can save. You might have heard that Encore is going out for an IPO, and it says in the IPO that they're going to raise prices. And so prices of our service charges have already raised from they used to be about 10% of event spend. Now they're about 25% for the service fees that you get hit with after the event. Now they're going to go up even more after the Encore IPO. So my product is going to become even more important than it already is.
Yeah, so beyond venue, this is every kind of contract now, especially or like when you're pulling in AV conversations and things like that.
Yes. So you'll see it does mention AV conversations when the analysis comes back.
Mhm.
I don't know why it's a little slow today, except that this
Because
is
it's
a
a
long.
live demo and that's how it works.
Yes, and also because I picked a long contract. So, uh, Everybody's had these issues though when the bill comes back after the event and they're like, OMG, how are we going to pay this? How are we going to explain this part of the event budget?
Well, and so I liked you. You told me originally when you first launched this, the story of somebody who had a construction issue that they had signed a contract, and when they got on site, they found that the entire second tower of the hotel was under complete renovation or demolish or something.
That's right.
Have a construction clause in the contract because who would think to put a construction clause in your contract?
Exactly. And that's one of the things it comes back with. Another thing that you might not think of is pest management,
Mm. Oh
waste
my God, that would be
management.
crazy. I used to do an event here in Austin. It was at the Renaissance, and in August we call it cricket season. There were crickets literally coming from the ceiling, falling into people's food. It was disgusting.
Oh, gross. Oh my gosh. Yep, there's that. And then also waste management is a big one. I just saw a big LinkedIn post about this, about how event teams leave behind these giant things and expect the organizers to throw it out.
Yeah.
Well, you could get charged for that easily.
Yeah. That was one of the things that pulled up in our Happy Camp contract too, asking what happens to that. So it was a good one for me to ask about.
Okay, good. All right. So let's say I have a $100,000 budget. Then we can calculate, I can save between five and about $15,000, and that's average. And then it'll go through and rank your issues. This is a medium risk issue. Taxes and assessments can increase without notice. Yeah, I would give that a medium risk. But then the high risk issues is taxes and procedure is vague and shifts to the group. Mm, that's only if you're dealing with a nonprofit. So I'm not going to pick that one. But here's another high one. Released rooms still count towards attrition. That is a big one. I'm going to mention that one here. And then sleeping room performance, another big one. So we're going to get these two. Okay. And then we're going to download the marked up contract, and this generates real quickly. Okay, I am going to move this. Can you see this?
No. Oh, now we can. Yes.
Okay, good. So you see here it redacted out the private data. And then you go down and here's a medium risk issue. Medium risks are highlighted with yellow. High risks are highlighted with pink. And the comments over here give you an idea of why it's important and how to negotiate. These are the ones that I selected. It won't highlight anything that I didn't select. And so this PDF is ready to go back to the hotel to negotiate. Now, also, then, as I mentioned, there is a network thing involved. So we go to the peer network, and the idea is over time, as more and more people put their data in here, it's going to give you an idea as you, let's say you're planning something in Los Angeles, as to which are the riskiest venues to choose in Los Angeles, but maybe you don't want to do an RFP with them at all.
Yikes.
So that's it. Any
Okay.
questions?
Pricing model?
Yeah, so for right now, it's really inexpensive. We're just starting out, so it's about $10 a month for 15 contracts a month, and we are going to be raising that because you can save so much money with this tool. We've been told that it's more valuable than what we're charging. So in another month or so, we'll be raising it to about $3,000 a year. But for right now, if any event planners want to try it, that is a super good deal.
Yeah, I found it really useful. Just a little endorsement is that I put our contract in here, ran it through, and it allowed me to have the first conversations back with the venue to ask specific questions. And then they kind of came back with their reasoning behind it. And then I sent it on to my lawyer to go do like the big stuff. But it was a really good first pass without having to waste lawyer hours on what could be considered the easy stuff that is still harder than what I would have ever found, right? So
Okay,
it's great.
excellent. I'm so glad it helped you. That's what I want to do is I just want to take some time off event planners' plates. They spend so many hours doing other things. This is like something nobody likes to do.
Agreed. Agreed. Okay, I will remove our spotlights and see if anyone else has questions. Open it up to everybody. Heather, our resident contract expert. Thoughts or questions?
It looks cool. Um, I haven't dug into it, so kudos Faith for using tech for that. Um,
Thank you.
yeah, I don't know. I'd have to really dig in.
Yeah,
Um,
I think where it's cool and interesting, and especially like the intersection of what you do and teaching people how to understand contracts and how to read contracts is the base level that all event professionals that are being handed a contract should understand. And then the things that you would never think about that you've negotiated all the great stuff, and then when you go run it through this, and it's like, but did you think about this? Did you think about this? Like, I didn't, because it's never happened to me. I only tend to think about the things that have happened to me, because when things go wrong, we learn the most. But if it's never happened to me, like an entire hotel tower being under construction or demolition while my group is there, I wouldn't have thought to put that clause in there. So I love being able to have your own personal baseline, bouncing up against something that is much more in tune with the industry than just a chat GPT, and then bring the lawyers in when necessary. It's a beautiful flow. So
Thank you.
good job. I love it. Thank you so much, Faith, and congratulations on the continued evolution.
Thank you.
D-
Look for an MCP that will go into Copilot. That's my next project.
very
So many companies are adopting Copilot, and Copilot's not that good at analyzing contracts. So I'm going to make an MCP for those big companies.
That's fascinating. That's great. And then who's your target client? Are you going after the independent or individual event planner that needs to run stuff through? Or are you going after like agencies and companies that kind of have a procurement team?
Yeah, well, so this is sort of a pivot to the bigger agencies and procurement teams.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love it. Enterprise ready.
Yeah.
Thanks, Faith. DJ Graffiti, how about you?
All right, let's do this. Let's do this. On 1 second here, everybody. You can hear me okay?
I sure can.
All right, perfect. You didn't say anything, so I was worried for a second.
All good.
Let me go with this sharing the screen, and we want to go with that one right there. All right. Let me know when you get my screen.
Almost, almost, almost. Got it.
Perfect. All right. So first, I got a question here. Now, what's the easiest thing to implement? Yet it's the single most transformative thing that you can do to completely change the feel of an event. And I think you probably know, because I'm DJ Graffiti, that's adding music, right? But the problem is that when you add the wrong music, it can make people leave immediately. I know we've all probably been at an event where the music was way too loud, or it was just the wrong fit for the audience. And me as a DJ, even though I've done this for 30 years, when I'm concerned about whether or not I'm doing a good job, it's not about whether I gave my all or I performed well in terms of technical ability. It's, am I playing the right music for the audience? Right. So during COVID, I got to have a two-way communication with the chat, talking back and forth to people, asking them what they want to hear. And that was what was the foundation of creating the app that I created called Tagapa. Now, it's a mixture of the words together and apart. So that's where Tagapa came from. And it's no matter whether we're together or apart, we can come together to create an experience. And so Tagapa is a crowdsourced playlist app. So everybody can contribute to the playlist. All right, so there's our Tagapa homepage. Let's just jump right into it. And once I found my mouse, there we go. Now here is the screen view of an app that has been customized for the one and only Club Ichi. And you'd usually see this. Hold on 1 second here. Let me see if I can get this to work. Is it just F11? There we go, F11. So you usually would put this full screen on the screen, add an event. If you wanted to use it, add an actual event. People would scan that QR code down at the bottom right of the screen, and or click a link that you've provided to them, and then they are able to join in on this playlist that you see here. So let's come out of the full screen view, and we'll jump into the back end of the app. Or actually, before we even do that, this is what people see when they scan that QR code. They just see your branded banner here, and then whatever data collection that you've decided to ask for, you can set that in the back end of the app. But let's see, I'm going to put myself in here, Martin Smith, and I am at Gmail. I don't know if I already signed up in here. My event is, I'm DJ Graffiti. All right. So let's see if I start requesting. Now we've sent you. Oh, okay. I've already, I already signed up to this. So here, hold on 1 second. I'm going to use a different email. That's what happens when you're on the fly. Oh, but I guess that's a good thing to see. That's what happens if somebody comes back to the app and they've already used it, is we just send them a code and then they can log in and continue using their account. But so now I've used another email. Now I get, this is the basic. It's super, super simple. Once you get involved in the app itself, you get to see the playlist of songs that people have already requested here. And you're seeing those. And then you have just to search for your song. Somebody give me a song to
Put
request.
in my two.
You said you put in your two?
I did, top two.
You did actually. Party in the USA. Okay, cool. And Cashmere. All right, but let's just say I wanted some Bruno Mars. All right, I'm typing it in. It comes up immediately. I then get to pick based on what I type in. I just click request and then bang, it goes right into the list. It's just that simple, that easy. All right. So, but this was just a quick thing that I created. It doesn't have any real data in there, just some songs, but this is also another, you can see this as another variation of what's possible in terms of branding the look and feel of that screen view. And then if we come into this back in here, it's actually got some data going on up here. Some songs are pending. Some have been here. Let me zoom this in so you can see it a little bit better. Some songs are pending, meaning they've been requested, but haven't been marked played yet. These are the ones that you mark played and you click this check mark and then that says, oh, I've played that song. You got votes here. How many times have people voted on the songs? And then how many guests total were involved in the event? So the great part about this app is not only that people can request songs, but it engages the entire audience because people get to upvote the songs that were requested by other people. And then you get to see which one are the most popular songs throughout the course of your event. When I initially created Tagapa, it was for use at an event. So I expected people to be there at the event, scan the QR code, put the request in. But what has evolved over the newest kind of incarnation of the app is that I found that it's so much more powerful if you use it before the event, right? So you send it out weeks in advance of the event, get people excited, they're putting songs in, and then you then customize your event to the songs that have been created. So on that note, let's just jump in. I'm gonna zoom out just a little bit. Jump into some of the settings that make the app great. So you saw you can customize and brand all of the different aspects of the app. So that's what we're seeing here. You can upload your own header and logo and so on and so forth, your own little bio and your social links. But some of the more important parts, the guest sign-in fields, capture their job title, company, phone, opt-in, if they're an email opt-in, terms and conditions, so on and so forth. And then you can actually stop people from requesting songs that they shouldn't be requesting by either genre filters, masking profanity in the app, or a do not playlist. And the thing that's pretty cool about this do not playlist, let me see here. I don't know. We only got 7 minutes, but the thing that I love is that it's a fuzzy match on the do not play. So if anybody requests any variation of this song, Take This Job and Shove It, which you probably don't want at your corporate event, it will block all of those, not just this one particular song. So moving forward from there, my favorite part of the app is, well, here, let's just go right through. How much time do I have, Liz?
You have where to go? 1 minute left on this, but 3 minutes for questions. So keep going.
Okay, so 1 minute. Let's just jump into the analytics page. This is really my favorite part. This is the meat of the app. Now, super simple on the front end, but on the back end, you get to see all the songs that have been requested, all the votes, and then all the data about this. But let's show this AI report, which really changed my life. So it's not just for DJs, it's for anybody who is actually anybody who wants to know what their audience wants to hear. But for me, this is actual data from a real event. So I had over 200 songs that were requested, and I needed to make sense of that to know what to play for that audience in a half hour, right? So I can't play 200 songs, but this told me that Michael Jackson was the most requested artist with 6 songs, BTS, a K-pop group, another 6 songs, Taylor Swift, 5 songs. But here, if we jump over here to our share screen, and actually I have that up already, you don't see BTS or Taylor Swift anywhere in the top 10 most upvoted songs. But they had 6 requests, and I lost my screen here, but they had 6 requests and 5 requests that were done. So that was a huge piece of knowledge for me because I probably wouldn't have played the BTS or the Taylor Swift because they had lots of requests, but not as many votes. They fell toward the bottom of the list. So this not only lets you engage your audience, it tells you what they want to hear. So you should never again be struggling to figure out what does my audience want, because you know the eras, the songs, the genres, and all the data that you need to know to make sure that the experience is absolutely amazing for your event.
So,
And I created a club Ichi for this, may be for anybody here or for anybody else. You put in Ichi 20 into the Tagapa website and you get 20% off forever if you go ahead and request. I mean, if you go ahead and sign up for a free account and then use this app, you sign up and pay, you get 20% off forever.
amazing.
Ichi 20.
Add that to our perks page in Circle so that people get access to that. That's amazing. So tell me, is this intended for people that are just running a playlist for an event, or is it intended to have a DJ run and manage?
It's either or both,
Okay.
right? So I don't think that there's any event that shouldn't be using this. From my perspective, if you're going to have an event and you're going to play music, then why wouldn't you figure out in advance what the audience wants to hear so that you can customize it? I've had other people say, oh, this is great because now I'm going to know who to book for my big Friday night party because I'm going to be able to tell what everybody loves. Right. And then I left out all the good stuff. Then from a sales perspective, when you get that data and you export it out, you're able to see what each individual person requested. And so then your salespeople can reach out like, oh, my goodness, you love Bad Bunny. I saw you requested that Bad Bunny song. And that's a great in when you're emailing them or reaching out post event.
I love that. That's really fun. Okay.
Yeah.
So what's the difference between your 39 and 99?
So 99 has unlimited events. It's just the volume of events that you're going to run in the back end. So there's unlimited events. You also have larger amounts of guests because that's really the core of what it costs us to run is how many people are actively in there using it and in real time, making sure that playlist is changing in real time as people upvote and downvote, right? So you have unlimited events at the 99 level for up to 2,000 guests per event. 39 is up to 500 guests per event, and you get unlimited events. So it's really just the volume of people that you can put in there.
And so I see that this one on the 99 one is enterprise upgrade available. So if I'm logging in, can I buy like a corporate account and have a certain number of users, or do people that are running events set it up separately?
I can't think of this. Man, I should know this information, but on the back end, the enterprise size is basically just based on size of event.
Okay.
Right. So it's scalable automatically. It's just so if you had 10,000 people at your event, you would just pay a larger amount, but you see that right in the back once you sign up. So you could sign up for a free account and get to whatever size you need on the back end.
I'm just wondering if I have a field event team across the US and they have different territories and they're all running webinars and I wanted all 10 of them to have an account so that they could do this. Would they all log in with a single account because it's unlimited events, or would I just buy them out per region and they each get their own?
It really just depends. You could do it one way or you could do it the other way. The reason it depends is because in the back end of the event, let me jump here if I can actually share it there. So based on your settings, you have profile defaults. So if everybody is using that same profile and then you're basing your events on that, then you might as well just share. You have the ability to have like a sub account admin that you could send out to those separate users, right? But if everybody had a different look and feel to their back end, then they would want to have separate accounts.
And then could I set like a pre-existing playlist that's kind of my corporate starter that then other people can add to that could kind of templatize it?
You can. That's a good idea. What you can do is duplicate events and decide to keep the data that's already. So if you created one event and then put those songs in there and then you duplicated it out, you can do that. But then that's also why you have profiles. So you have profile defaults. That's where you set your default profile and you see this is my information in here. But then I went over, here's the Meridian playlist, which is different, customized for that individual event. Yeah. So that's how we actually have done that as of right now. But that's a great idea to just have a default playlist that you could just call up on a whim and say, I don't want it to be empty when we start. So just put these 15 songs in there as we kick it off.
Yeah. Because I kind of have for our own brand, if it's a morning event and it's in person, I love to start with Motown because people find themselves singing to it and they don't mean to, but they do. And it's a good way to break it. I'm not going to start with Katy Perry first thing in the morning, but I totally will for my afternoon happy hour. It's kind of like the set of things that you can clone. So that's fun.
So let me clarify that. So you don't necessarily play your music from this app, right? This is to create the playlist.
Right.
Then
but if I'm handing it over to somebody at the event to know what they're doing, and I want to be like, this is kind of what we start with, and then we tell everybody so that we know what we're setting the scene. Because to your point, audio sets the scene, right? That is the way people know what the vibe of your event's going to be. So you're setting that and then getting people in, and then you kind of jazz it up with, oh, here's what they want. I love it.
That's exactly right. So yeah, from here, you can export the data that's in here to Spotify or an Apple Music playlist. If you wanted to then take that and use it at your event, you can export all of the data to a CSV file, all the information. But yeah, that's usually how it would be, was that we would get the playlist in here, or we would get the songs in here, then you're exporting it out for use to figure out how to actually play it. That's why it doesn't matter if it's a DJ or if it's some other use. It's not necessarily playing your music, although I would love to hear if people want it to be that, because it's possible for it to go right into that. But this is more so just setting the tone for figuring out what people want you to play, and then you pass that off to whoever is going to create the actual playlist to figure out how to program it, we'll say.
And I think you launched this at Eventastic, didn't you? You tested it out there?
I did, yeah. So that was the 2.0 launch, that in this way that we see it. It's been around for about 3 years. But like I said, when I first started it, I thought it was for use at the event. Then I found out I don't really like a lot of people walking around looking at their phone swiping when they're supposed to be engaging with other people. So then it was like, let's do this the day before. So at Eventastic on day one, I gave everybody the QR code. And then that was what I based the playlist on day two of Eventastic when I played the music.
That's fantastic. I love this.
Yep. And this is actually Eventastic's data in here, if you want to know. So like I scrubbed all the email addresses and the names and so on and so forth. But these are the number of requests and posts. All of this stuff is here. I can't talk. I'm trying to talk fast. But this is the real data that came from Eventastic.
I love it. Nicely done. Thank you so much, Martin. This is fantastic.
All right. Thank you.
Hang out for me. We'll see if we have any other questions coming up soon. All right, Andy, can I bring you up here?
Yes, I will be right up. So let me go ahead and share my, I've got a handful of slides to set the why, and then I'll go into the what.
Okay, go fast.
How's that work? So let me go ahead and share. Are you seeing the speaker view or
hold on, there we go.
Or the full screen view?
Speaker view.
Speaker view. Okay, let me swap. Does that help?
No, not yet.
Speaker view.
There we go. Now we're good. Yes.
Okay, lovely. Well, hello everyone. I'm Andy Jacobs. I'm founder and CEO of Qrati. And first of all, I want to give a shout out to Vanessa, who's on the call, who introduced me to Club Ichi. So really happy about that. Yeah. So we are we host photos and videos for events, but we're much more than photo gallery software. And I'll show you all about that in a moment. So my question for everyone is: authentic user-generated content captured at your events valuable to you? And you can use your Zoom emojis or whatever to indicate. According to the Content Marketing Institute, UGC is actually quite valuable. It constitutes social proof. Another term I would use is, FOMO, fear of missing out. A gallery of attendee experience at a prior events sees 60% higher attendee retention and 70% higher interest and sign-up rate. And the question is, at events, and I'm wondering if you have all seen this, where does most of the user-generated content go? This means all of the wonderful, authentic content that people are capturing on their phones, hopefully not with phones out during sessions, but between sessions, at maybe breakouts, at city tours, all of those fun things in and around events. Well, the question is, or the answer I should say, is something called dark social. And this is not like the dark web. It's not nefarious. Nobody's doing drugs here. All this refers to is the fact that about 90% of the content that people capture goes to private spaces. It goes to emails. It goes to WhatsApp chats. It goes to airdrops. All of those spaces, you as an event organizer don't see this wonderful content. Some of it, about 10%, goes into social spaces. But I think, as we all know, and I'm not going to go off on a riff on it, social media is a bit problematic at this point in time. And the whole tag us in your socials thing isn't working so well. And so with that, the summary is we help you tell amazing 360-degree stories of your events through the authentic experiences of your attendees. Importantly, this content lives before, during, and after your events and helps you promote your events during an entire event life cycle. And so with that, I'm going to share the next thing. So let me change my sharing, and stop share. Okay. And I'm going to go to the demo now. And let me find that screen. Okay, here we go. Okay, just manipulating windows. Okay, so you should see my browser screen. So let me show you. Is that correct?
Yep,
You're
we
seeing
see.
my browser
Yep.
screen? Beautiful.
Mhm.
So let me show you an example of Qrati in action. So this was a conference that was held in Tucson in February, the Western Association of Chamber Executives. And if you go to the conference page, the annual conference page, what you'll see is thumbnails of events past and present. During this conference, it was a multi-day conference, people had a QR code. This is actually built into the Cvent app, which is a whole other thing that we do. We can do integration into third-party apps. People had an ability to hit a link. There were QR codes posted around, and people shared their content live. And what you get is a 360-degree view of not just the stage shots that professional or staff photographers might take, but the entire attendee experience. And an important number here is there were about 350 to 400 attendees. One third of the attendees actually contributed content. There were about 900 photos and videos that were uploaded. There is moderation and curation behind the scenes. So it's not a photo dump. The organizer or anybody who's in a moderation capacity selects what shows up to help tell this story. And in this case, we're up to almost 2,000 views. Okay, and one of the very interesting things that you can do during a live event is a scrolling photo wall. So this was shown on the big screens at the front of the conference during like bumper time, between sessions, the breakfast buffet, all of those things. And Martin, I think if you had your music going and we had the attendee photos going, we'd have it completely covered in terms of vibe. Okay. Um, and then intermixed within the gallery, and this is something very unique to Qrati, you can place advertising tiles to recognize your sponsors and your partners. And so these are interspersed within the gallery for exposure. And then if you click on a visit button, you'll go right to that particular sponsor or partner. We have all kinds of actions that can be taken for smaller events. These could be the action button could be a phone call, an email, things of that nature. So that is the conference or event space. We support and have relationships with chambers of commerce who run community events. And this is an example of a chamber in Superior, Colorado. There are thumbnails from different events that you can see. And one thing that I think is very fun, something also unique to us, we have different engagement modes. There are just simple galleries. We support emoji reactions. And then we also have a contest mode, right? Where you can go in as a user, rate, react, vote, and this becomes a spontaneous photo contest. You can award prizes, gift certificates, and things like that to foster engagement. Okay, so conference, chamber, we work with brands. So for brand activations, field marketing, experiential marketing, this is an example of something that we're doing for Hudsonville Ice Cream as a brand. They're a big manufacturer in the Midwest. And if you if you join, you can participate in photo challenges. And the photo challenges are hosted by Qrati. So this is brand exposure, and this has emoji reactions. We support and work with nonprofits. So this is a local charity or nonprofit I'm on the board of in Boulder, Rise Against Suicide, and the fundraising events also have a dedicated page with galleries. So this is an integration. We work with you and your team very simply to embed on your website, which gives you a very natural exposure, traffic, engagement to your site, instead of it, say, going to Google Photos or some third-party site. Okay. How much time do I have?
So we're on to Q&A now. So
Okay. And then
my
last thing I'll
question.
say is we're going to be at Event Connector, Liz.
Oh, yay!
There you go.
Awesome. Okay, so if I've got my event, how do I get people to put their stuff up there? Am I putting QR codes around, they're scanning it, and that's where they're loading their pictures?
QR codes around the venue, QR codes. I can share examples of tent cards on tables in the
Okay.
conference room, and then links in emails and social media and other spaces.
Okay, and then from the moderation on the back end, I just have somebody dedicated somewhere to go see, so it queues it up and then people approve them. Is that how that works?
Yeah, so a moderator associated with the event from their phone, they'll get a notification. There's new content to moderate, and they can approve, reject. You can approve something that was rejected, reject something that was approved. You can go back and forth. We flag duplicates, so you don't get redundancy flooding your events, and NSFW flags,
And it can be photos and videos,
photos and videos.
all in the same feed, or does it separate them?
All in the same feed. And you
Okay.
can separate different galleries for different events and all of that.
Is there any of that AI facial recognition, find photos, I'm in?
There
and
is,
stuff?
there is. And we're very, very attuned to privacy. And so there's a special approval that needs to be done by the organization. And then the facial recognition that we do is just like mathematical profiles of faces. We don't associate a name with a face.
Okay, but if I were to go say, find everything that I'm in, and if I think it's a terrible picture,
Can.
can I request it to be removed?
Absolutely. Yeah. And in fact, if you've uploaded anything, you have control. You can always delete it anytime. You can ask a moderator to remove. So privacy is incredibly important, and we have a lot of features for that.
I love it. And pricing model, is it by event? Is it an annual subscription or monthly? How's it work?
We prefer annual subscription, which is all you can eat. So unlimited photos and videos, unlimited events, hosting on your website, all the AI features, ad tech, all of those things. It starts Club Ichi pricing, $59 per month subscription and up, depending on who you are and the size of your organization. But we can also do a la carte pricing for event by event.
That's amazing. Okay, I love it. And hold on for us, and we'll see if there's any questions at the end. But this is great, Andy. I love it. I
Thank
can't
you,
wait to
Liz.
meet you in Kansas City.
Okay, cheers.
Okay, now I don't ever remember Deana or Deanna.
It's okay. It's Deana.
Deana, hi! I haven't talked to you in ages. How are you?
I know. It's great to see you. Hi, everybody.
You too. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Sorry you were
Thank
sitting at the
you.
other link. Our tech gremlins got us today. But I'm glad you're here.
Totally fine. I'm here now. So I will start my timer. So thank you, everybody, for having me. My name is Deana Poole. I'm with EMC Outdoor. I do have a few things to share, but essentially what EMC does and has been doing for over 30 years is we take the attendee journey of any show, any big show and conference, and we find in every major conference city and minor conference city what media exists in that conference city that is going to naturally intersect with those attendees. And so then we put a plan together that is based on out of home. That here I do have a screen to share if I can figure that out. Let's see, maybe, yes. And so that's what we do. We take that attendee journey. So that could be people coming from the airport. That could be people that are in San Diego with the barricade banners, the Harbor Drive banners that start right from that airport all the way to the conference center. And we also bring media in by way of digital mobile billboards. You know, I was just thinking, Andy, what if we could have all of that scroll on a digital mobile billboard outside? So as people are walking in or walking back to their hotel after the event, they start to see all those photos on a digital mobile billboard. I thought that could be really cool. And so really what we say is make the whole market your booth. And I do have some videos to share. Hoping I can
Yeah.
do that. This is the window I would like to share, but I'm not sure if it's going to let me. We're a Teams organization, so
Well, and Zoom
I
is
don't know if
more
this is going to
complicated when
work.
you're sharing lately, so it used to be so easy.
I guess I'll
It's working.
allow.
It's working.
Let's see. Awesome. Okay, cool. So, can you guys see my screen?
Not quite yet, but it looks like it's trying to come up.
Okay, cool. You are screen sharing.
It says you've started, but we don't see it quite yet.
Move that over maybe. Allow? How about now?
Try it one more time.
Okay. Let me try one more time. And then and then I can just kind of explain it, but I will try to share one more time. Share.
There we go. Now we got it.
Awesome. Okay, so I'm just going to go ahead and start this video. As you can see, it's only a minute. So just recently, about a month ago, we were at BIO, which is an international convention that took place in San Diego. And we were able to utilize a lot of really great media formats. So this was projection media. So the cool thing about projection media is any wall that's available, we can turn it into a billboard with your messaging. A lot of times the messaging is visit us at booth 1234. So it can be seen at dusk and then about 3 or 4 hours throughout the night. As I mentioned, every city is different. So in San Diego, as you know, there is this nice, large digital spectacular right outside the convention center, and we're able to secure that for a number of clients. And there are going to be placements in every city that are a little bit different. I personally love arrivals media and airport media. You start to talk to the attendees the minute they get into the city, and they're already kind of primed and excited for the event. And that's kind of where you can plant your flag as owning your presence at that event. So I personally don't think you can ever go wrong with arrivals media. And then, like I mentioned, every city's a little bit different. These barricade banners are unmissable. You have to walk by them to get to the San Diego Convention Center. And we were able to secure those for our client as well. And they also purchased that huge digital. So everything was kind of running at the same time and just really, really impactful. And then throughout the city, as you can see, as attendees are enjoying the city here in the Gaslamp District, we were able to bring that message through there as well. And again, we do this in every major conference city. So we've already plotted out and know, okay, where is everybody going to be? Where are they going? And how can we put your message in front of them? Life Sciences PA, this was a little bit different. They did departures media because they're hosting BIO in Philadelphia next year. And so they wanted to reach everyone as they were leaving BIO to say, hey, we'll see you in Philly next year. Really excited to be the host city. So that was something a little bit different that we did. But again, everything we do is audience first. Digital mobile billboards, as I mentioned, these went around just focusing on the attendees. And again, that attendee journey, they're walking around for lunch, they're leaving the convention center, they're coming to the convention center, they're meandering around San Diego, and we are catching them with our messaging. So this is just a really nice snapshot of what we can do, of course, specifically in San Diego, but all cities are a little bit different. So I'm not sure if you can see the Arvo one that I'm about to play, if you guys can still see this.
Not yet. No, we still see the thank you bio one.
Okay.
It's just unshare and reshare because it does, yeah, the individual screens. Yay.
Fantastic. Let's see if this will work. Here we go. And share.
Perfect.
Awesome. Okay. And so this one was in Denver. And there are a lot of really fabulous placements in Denver. This one we did for Arvo. This just took place about a month or so ago as well. So as you can see, the attendees are walking to the convention center, and we have secured the media that is around that location with all the messaging. Of course, we also partner with hotels. Genentech did an amazing job with their hotel placements. This was just unmissable at the lobby and also at the elevators. Really, again, planting your flag and starting to talk to attendees before they get to that crowded hall and really kind of owning the city before the show even starts. And also after people leave the hall and they're kind of decompressing, getting back to their hotel, you're able to engage with them. Another thing we offer is wrap in-app rideshare. I know when I travel for work, I always take Uber. I almost never take public transportation, and we are able to we're able to get apps in those, I'm sorry, ads inside those apps when people are calling for their rides. And then again, we're going to be utilizing hotel for other clients as well. So we negotiate with those hotels and we make sure that everything is placed in a way that is in a commercial environment where you're not potentially right next to a competitor, et cetera. Those were all owned by Genentech. And then there's also a real focus, especially in the medical conference world, of thought leadership. And so we were able to highlight the thought leaders for our client again in the airport, just as people are arriving, when they're getting off the airplane and they're getting into that city, they are already starting to become familiar with some of the thought leaders and the folks that are going to be presenting at this show. So really, when you think of EMC, think about or when you think about the need to really make a major impression, you know, thousands of people going to this show, and you really need to make a lasting impression, potentially social media content that needs to be repurposed. Out of home is really excellent for that. We reach the attendees before they get into the hall with all of that noise, and also when they're outside enjoying the city. I loved wrap vehicles. Again, I always take Uber and Lyft when I'm traveling for work, and to be waiting for a Lyft and have your company pull up with a fully wrapped car is really powerful. We also do this in a swarm. And so we have the cars turn off their apps and their rideshare apps and drive around the convention center for, I believe it's 8 hours per day. So it really is unmissable. We have a lot of control over where those cars go.
Can you do a takeover where if you've wrapped it and then they are picking up your attendees, like if you're wearing a lanyard,
Yes.
you get a ride?
Yes. So we do. That's a concierge option. And yes, we do. If you show your badge, your ride is already paid for. That is definitely something that we offer. Not necessarily. We also offer just, hey, here's a swarm, and when the swarm is over, they're going to turn their Lyft app back on, and they're just going to drive people around. And obviously, the car is still wrapped, but you kind of own that car for those 8 hours. And then, like I said, there is a concierge option as well.
And you can do that in any city, or just conference cities?
Nope, any city.
Wow. Okay. And the elevator door wrap thing, I was going to ask about that one because like that's magical when I see those, especially when they're really smart.
are.
Something happens when it opens, it's like a message. But
Yes.
is that specific hotels that you have a contract with, or can you?
No, so it's really any hotel. And typically what we do is we will talk to the event organizer, or you may know as an exhibitor, what are the biggest hotel blocks? And then we reach out to the hotel and coordinate all of that for you.
And like key cards and stuff like that too, or is that straight with the hotel?
Nope, everything. Key cards, elevator wraps. Some folks can do wraps of the escalator. There are oftentimes lobby screens. There's oftentimes screens from the hotel to the walkway to the convention center. We have access to that as well. Oftentimes we also have window clings where we take over the whole window of that corridor going into the hall. So really every hotel is a little bit different. And so whatever that hotel is offering, we can bring to you.
I love it. I love what you guys do. It's my favorite. And I would say when we were at Cannes Lions, just the way that people kind of branded that city with all of the out of home opportunities that existed there, like it just inspires me.
Yeah, out of home really had a moment in Cannes for sure. For sure. It was awesome.
The other thing, which I have a whole thought leadership thing about, is how they seem to view events as out of home. And so it's a very blurred line between where that line item in the budget sits. And it was like these experiential activations just were listed as out of home marketing in their budgets. And I'm like, aha, This is how we have a marketing conversation. So
Yes. I mean, I know I only have 7 minutes, but I mean, we do experiential. We do all out of home, anything you can see outside. So that means experiential, pop-ups, anything that you need at a trade show or in general market as well.
And even like the street team stuff where you like power wash a message onto the street. I love it. Thank you.
Oh,
so
yeah.
much. Really appreciate you being here.
Oh, absolutely. Thanks for having me.
Thank you. Okay, I will remove spotlight, and all of you that were our guests today, if you would drop into the chat for me the website that people can find you at and the best way for them to get in touch with you, that would be amazing. And I will open it up for any questions for the rest of the crowd.
Yeah, I've got a question for Deana. It's Deana, right? Or
Yeah.
Deana. Okay. Does the EMC backend platform have an API? Can it accept live content or streaming content or that type of thing, or is it all static and you get static assets and then you post the static assets?
No, well, EMC doesn't have the API, but we can coordinate an API, like for example, with a digital mobile billboard or with,
Okay.
Yes, we can do that.
Okay, then yes, we should have a conversation.
Okay.
Love it. Any other questions?
So I had a question also for Deana. How does the campaign development process, take place? Obviously, there's so many different opportunities. How do you figure out what's the right fit for a particular client? I'll just let you take it from there.
Yeah, so everything that we do at EMC is audience first. And so the trade show and conference division is just 50% of our business. We also do a full general market. So you're driving down the street and you see billboards or wrapped buses for Coca-Cola, we may have placed that business. So when it comes to a conference, we talk to our clients, the exhibitors, and we ask them, like, what are you trying to do? What is the message? Is it a launch? Is it thought leadership? What exactly is it? And then, of course, budget it always plays a factor as well. And then we layer in what city they're in and what that city can offer. Oftentimes we do bring in media like the digital mobile billboards and the wrapped rideshare, but we customize all of our proposals based on what that city has to offer and then what those exhibitors are trying to accomplish. So it really is just a meeting of what are you trying to do? What's the most important thing? How are you measuring this? And we kind of go from there.
I love it.
Thank you.
Thanks, Martin, Deana, Andy. Thank you so much for joining us today. I will have this recording up for our insiders to watch in the next hour or so. Got the contact information that will also be dropped in with the recording so everybody can find you. Thank you all so much for being here, and we'll catch you next time.
Thanks, Liz.
Demos.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.